In the previous lessons, we investigated the tutorials in Grasshopper, and in this lesson, we're going to start from zero. So we went through all the basic tutorials here just to get going and to get started in Grasshopper. And right now, we're going to use an empty document, and we're going to start with the really basic algorithm or process. So you can also double click or you press the spacebar and enter a keyword to start right away. So you can do it like this, or you can just go through the ribbon in the various toolbars and search for, with the correct term and find what you're looking for. So I'm gonna do something simple here. I'm gonna go from like monodimensional things into bidimensional. So we're gonna create lines and then shapes and then surfaces, and then we're gonna extrude. But all of these can be considered a generic geometry. So the geometry node, we can find it by searching with the GEO. It's basically a node that can be an input or an output for something else. Yeah, because it has two little dots, one on the right side and one on the left side. But let's assume this is going to be our final outcome, our final result. So to visualize this into Rhino space and to create something, we need to define a geometry. And we need to find what we're looking for in some of these toolbars in the ribbon. So do we want to create a curve or a line, a straight line, which also is a curve in Rhino? Or do we want to create a surface? So what is our main objective? And we can find in something in here. So let's assume we want to create a line, which is again a curve in Rhino. I can type directly using the spacebar, so I can find it right away, or I can find it in the toolbars. Now be careful, because one is the construction of the line. So, and that's the one we want right now. So we want to construct the line, we want to output, we want to link, then output to the final geometry, and then it's gonna tell us what do we need to define a line. And we need two parameters, A and B, which are 2 points or two set of numbers, or sometimes they are just two numbers, etc., etc. We can see from the message what is missing here. And well, it's missing the start point and the end point. So basically it's missing everything. So to put those, we can go back to the original standard parameters and put a point. So that's a single point, and that's not going to be enough. Now also here we have some suggestions that appear on the widget. So one is to create a panel which is text, but this text panel can also be used as an input, not only as an output. So I call that read and write. So we can call it to write, we can call it to read. And this also is construct point. So just as like I construct a line, I can construct a single point, which by default goes in the 0, 0 position. So I can right click and do set point, and I can set it myself in a specific position using Rhino. I'm using also the snap to the grid. So that's going to be my first point, and it's going to be in the origin. If I want to use the message box as a read rather than write, I'm going to put it in from the output of that into the input of the text. So it's telling me that that point is at 0, 0, 0. That's the information that I'm getting from that. And here I want to use it as a write, so as an input. So I'm going to go and you can see this is the construct point. You can find it in the vector toolbar. So this is where you can find an entire area for the points and also for the vectors. But this is the one we're looking for, is the basic construction point. You can also deconstruct, so you can like split the information from that point. So you can construct by putting those information or extract. So again, it's kind of a read and write process that you find also in other programming languages or visual scripting, like in Natron, for example, which is for creating videos and montages. Okay, so it's asking me to put an integer or a number or something that can be read. So again, it's either a number or it's another type of information that can be useful. But you find it usually here in the primitives. But right now, what I want to do is put the x coordinate by writing directly in here. So I'm going to write like 1. 1 means that x is going to be equal 1. So if I plug this into the x, I now have the first information for the point, which is good enough for Grasshopper and Rhino. You can see the point is right there, is in the green. So if I plug this into the line, now I have a line which goes from 0, 0, 0 to x equal 1 and then 0, 0. And that's our final output. So if I right click, I can just type here like final output, or output wherever you want. So the game here is to understand what's your final output, so what you want to achieve at the end, what is going to be your objective, and then figure out how to go through a series of processes to get that final objective. So usually we have a key process like this, and then we have like secondary processes or like intermediate processes that will give you the possibility to turn data into something else, and or analyze and recalculate numbers, or more complex things like domains, etc., etc. So I want to copy and paste this. I can also use that for multiple information, and in this case I want to have like the z separate from the x and the epsilon, and you can see that we now created a line, and we have some nodes that we are using as inputs and outputs, or as read and write. So I want to unlink this, so hold control and unlink it. I want to see what this is. So you can see my final outputs is reading here. It's a line, and also is reading the length of that line. So it's, in this case, it's a three-dimensional line, but it's not a three-dimensional entity. It's in the 3 dimensions in the space, but it's not like something that is a solid or a surface or polysurface, which is actual three-dimensional. And so I'm gonna also type here write, so to understand this. So we have writes, and then we have reads to complete the process, to complete the algorithm that we are constructing. Really basic algorithm, really basic processes, because we want to understand everything from the beginning. Now the next step usually, well, before we get into the next step, I want to show you a couple of extra preferences that we can set. Now in the author, you may want to add some extra information here if you want. And on the display, which is the next one, you can define how you want to visualize, like how you want to format like integers, and then decimals, etc., etc. Fonts, you can change the font of the interface, you can change the font of the script, you can change the font of the console, so you can customize all of this stuff, or you can just reset everything back if you feel that it is going wrong, or there is something wrong with that particular font. So I'm just going to reset because I want to use the standard. You have also this content filter to filter the content if it's too explicit for some reason. And then you have context menus. I think this one is pretty useful, and I'm going to show you some examples later. But essentially, if you right click on a node, you can access certain parameters. But if you have that turned off, you see you cannot like reach the input and the output. Instead, if you activate it, you can. So you can see now I can access, and I can change the input from here without going like directly to the inputs. So I definitely want to use this on. It's useful, and by default I think it's turned off. Also, if you want, we saw these show tab icons over text, And then underneath that, we have the shortcut keys, which also can be useful